Vega squadrons turn to ban. Radiant team ban.
Welcome back, everybody, here to game number 2 of our best of 3 lower bracket round 1 matchup. Vega Squadron going up against London Conspiracy. It's elimination time tonight in the Epicenter European Qualifier. We already eliminated Na'Vi in our first best of 3. It was a 2-0, and now Vega up against London Conspiracy. Vega looking in just as bad a position up against LC after game 1 did definitely not go their way. Well, actually, there are a lot of points of it that did go their way, but the major point was their fortress exploded. London Conspiracies did not. Game number 2, I don't want to ask you what should we expect from this game, but what can Vega do to stop the problems from game 1 happening again would be the better question.
Oh, it's definitely not an issue of draft, I feel, Toby. It's just that, I mean, you were there to witness. Vega just had everything going their way, and just after Void got the Aghanim Scepter, I'd say Void was not just for the last chrono, but overall his chronos were pretty spot on. There weren't any botched chronos. Every chrono led to a kill, as I recall. Like, even when it wasn't like the best chrono, like when Sven got picked off at the bottom fight, the chrono always led to something for London Conspiracy. And with the Aghanim Scepter, like I mentioned, it makes it so it's so cheap. Like chrono, you see someone, you just chrono, no hesitation. You don't need a good chrono. But on top of like not having to, like, he didn't have pressure to land super good chronos, but he always had pretty like above average. And the last chrono, needless to say, was like a perfect chrono.
Yeah.
And I felt like towards the end, they should have just let them have racks and not save the buyback on no one. Because no one bought back, I think Solo used a premature Winter's Curse that didn't really do anything. I think it literally did 0 damage because it didn't catch any hero in it. And just after that point, it's
it felt like it was a time creator more than anything else. Like, just slow it down until you can have a respawn, but then it was a buyback, so you didn't have 2 of them. It's something happened communication-wise in Vega that just seemed to fall apart. But yeah, game 2 is a fresh day. They get their comfort Enchantress, and they'll see what they couple it with.
Invoker.
Okay.
Radiant team pick.
I mean, no one played a fantastic Invoker for the majority of the game, like towards the end where he got picked off, which got forced into a buyback, or a dieback rather. That wasn't like too much of his fault, because his teammates dying forced him to make plays like that, and he could have gotten away, but like he was up against the wrong heroes, like a gem on Faceless Void combined with an Earth Spirit. That's just too much mobility. You can't Ghost Walk out of that. And time dilation is actually ridiculous against Invoker. Not sure if you're an Invoker spammer, Toby, but yeah.
I love how I actually just give you points for thinking that even pick an Invoker.
You get an Aghanims on Invoker, and you have a 2-second Invoke, and then you get time dilation. It's such a sad story. Like, your net worth is basically useless on Invoker.
Faceless Void.
And here they go. Same combo.
Yeah, Spirit and Void. Interesting to see how Vega now approach the next banning phase. Solon very wise to instantly take out that Drow Ranger. He's very fearful what can happen if Vega do push out a 5 range strat against them. How do you now want to combo with a Faceless Void? You're up against an Enchantress, so Witch Doctor is going to highlight up there pretty damn high. Is there something else? Because you got to assume that the Witch Doctor will be banned. Like, you have 2 bans, and Vega most definitely will use Witch Doctor on one of these, or they first pick her. Like, that's the only options I really see for Vega.
I don't know, Toby. Was Witch Doctor that big of a factor last game?
Kind of feel from the laning phase he will be. From just the pure paralyzing cask perspective, that's worth a ban for an Enchantress to function properly. Yeah, you're not with me on that one? You think it's...
10
I mean,
seconds remaining.
because like the Witch
What else would
Doctor,
you remove instead?
5
the cores
seconds
basically.
remaining.
You can take out a bunch of cores, which they are doing with the Zeus band.
Reserve time.
They can possibly take out Gyrocopter. I'm not sure if Elsie is fond of Gyrocopter, but that is one of the scariest combos. Chrono into Call Down into Flat Cannon. And also like the heavy amount of burst damage from Gyrocopter is gonna be pretty appropriate of a response to Enchantress. Untouchable is really annoying.
I suppose the other one would also be the
Vega
Ursa Warrior, who
Squadrons,
gets
turn
picked a
to
lot up
ban.
against the Enchantress too. Maybe it is like it's easier to deal with the Witch Doctor than it is those other cores.
You know, I'm a
10
big fan of
seconds
AA plus Faceless Void, but AA is not too hot of a hero right
5
now, and
seconds
especially with
remaining.
Earth Spirit, it's kind of awkward because AA dual lanes are pretty weak.
Maybe if his Cold
Reserve
Feet was a
time.
little bit more secure and stunning. Maybe then.
Hmm.
Well, Vega are taking their sweet time on that fourth BAM. They may be having the same debate we were having, and it looks like they're going to take out the Witch
Vega
Doctor instead.
Squadrons, turn to pick.
They get first pick into next phase. Against the Faceless Void. Maybe you go back for the older combo, something like a VS and the Enchantress. Then you got the swap to get like someone out of that Chronosphere, or like having a solid son of your own. Beastmaster's fine to pick up
Radiant
now.
team
Like
pick.
they needed an offlaner for Mag anyway. And he still had a great game in the last match. His Beastmaster was like, there's no faults with his Beastmaster.
I mean, if we're gonna nitpick, I think there were moments where he would. I mean, he did a lot of good things, but at the same time, he sometimes would find himself in
10
Chronos,
seconds
which shouldn't really happen as a Beastmaster.
5 seconds
I'm in the
remaining.
chair, so I'm allowed to criticize.
You are allowed to criticize. I get to like hug
Reserve
soft
time.
pillows, and you gotta tell it as it is, bro. Because for me, like I didn't see much wrong with it, but you are right now. You pointed out like Mag gets caught out a little bit, but still, as far as the laning phase go, he had a better laning phase than most of the Vega team.
Vega
And Crystal
Squadrons,
Maidens are going to be
turn
the
to
choice
pick.
from London Conspiracy. It's kind of funny,
Yeah.
like she's not a bad combination. She's great up against the Enchantress with Frostbite, but even just the cooldown and the Nova, combining it up with Faces Void Chrono, is actually quite powerful.
And Freezing Field is one of the most underrated, underestimated spells in Dota. That spell, if unchecked,
Was it you I was
10
casting with the
seconds
other day that
remaining.
was harping on that? It might have been you.
I
It
don't
might
think
have. It
so.
might have been
5
Ryu.
seconds
I think it was
remaining.
Ryu actually was going nuts. But it's like, man, yeah, people like they're willing to rush BKB
Reserve time.
these days on Crystal Maiden just so you can guarantee a full freezing field
Radiant
during a team
team
fight.
pick.
And it was
Yeah.
it's a big American thing. Yeah, it was Ryu. It was Ryu, and it was during the American Grand Final.
I mean, that spell is so insane. They kept buffing it and buffing it. The range got bigger. I'm not sure exactly what. Like the mana cost is definitely down from what it used to be. It used to be something ridiculous, like level
10
like
seconds
300 or
remaining.
400 mana cost at level 1.
What is it
for
now?
level
It's
200. So
600. Okay.
So Crystal Maiden had some mana pool issues, but now
Reserve
she
time.
doesn't. I mean, she has less of mana pool issues. Her spells still do cost a lot.
Vega
Yeah, but then she also got
Squadrons,
buffed on
turn to
regeneration,
ban.
so your mana pool is actually more an effective mana pool these days. A Juggernaut pickup from London Conspiracy. I always find it interesting watching Omni Slash around the Chronosphere.
10 seconds remaining.
Yeah, I mean that could work. Like the Battle Fury Juggernaut
5
Omni slashing
seconds
into
remaining.
multiple Chrono targets,
Reserve time.
and it's also really good against Disruptor too.
They're missing that last hero though, which is the one that goes up against the Invoker. They must have purposefully left this till last. They had the Wind Ranger in the last game. It worked quite well. I wonder if Vega really feel like that's the one to ban out right now. Because the other heroes which Baby Knight likes to go for is heroes like TA or Quap. There is other two favorite heroes in the mid. I got a feeling it's going to be one of, or both, one of these two heroes as his last pick. They take out the Ember.
Squadron's turn to pick.
It's a pretty scary lineup to play Queen of Pain against.
It is. But what else can you... What else do you want from him in the mid? TA is not really the greatest choice because obviously with Phase 4 it doesn't synergize perfectly. You still want to have like a big nuker. Did you get away with like a Lena mid? A Lena mid core? Is that even possible? It looks nice in this game.
Radiant team pick.
Yeah, I think so, but Lena might struggle a bit against Invoker and Disruptor.
Yeah.
She's not really an early BKB carrier, so she's always gonna be vulnerable to Invoker and Disruptor. And they're probably thinking about the Spectre. How do we deal with the Spectre? Juggernaut's pretty good against Spectre with the Healing Ward and Omni Slash, but... Well, okay.
It's the London conspiracy brood, mother. The Baby Knight mid brood. This is going to be a treat, especially if he goes for his standard build. Okay, so I don't know if you know much about the Baby Knight brood. What would you build on the brood mother item wise, going up against this Vega lineup?
I think Baby Knight is going to go like Sanjin Yasha, BKB Butterfly. Not too sure. He goes Sanjin Yasha a lot, like power treads into Sanjin Yasha.
It's something which something which he started to do recently.
10 seconds.
But his original build on the brood mother mid was actually going Radiance first.
5 seconds remaining.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was the reaction of most people as well. But he won a lot of games with it. So you go Radiance into Skadi as the build on his mid brood. When I questioned him about it, I'm just like, why do you keep doing this? He's just like, 'cause I like it. That was his reasoning. There was no more logical explanation than that.
Because I like it. It works for him.
Something like that. Wait, I just realized they added a path into this store. I've never looked at it that closely. In the Radiant store. Like, the Dire are completely walled in. And the shopkeeper's in a bit of a hole. But if you actually look down at the Radiant store behind the shopkeeper, he's got a little path out the back. This guy's probably got like a gazebo or something at the back there. What is this? So I still wish, and I'm gonna actually use a tweet that Malk did earlier tonight, where he's like, and I wish players would have the individual like openings, and I want to have like something like that for Dota 2, where you have like the WWF style, like Stone Cold's coming down, and instead it's just like Invoker arrives on the field. Now this war where we just all fall from the sky and we hit the ground. Let's actually have a way where the warriors do assemble on the field. How awesome would that be at the start? Just saying. Interesting that the Baby Knight's going to come to this mid lane without a tank. Okay, yeah. Without a tango, but with 2 sentry wards. He's not going to win that sentry battle without a tango.
And Solo already bought the dust on Enchantress, so it looks like he will be quite conscious about the mid and his potential to catch Baby Knight off guard.
They're aware of what they have to do with Baby Knight. The issue with Baby Knight is, once he gets the first couple of levels, he just manipulates his own jungle. And this is one of these games where, like, yeah, you can go on Iron Talon Kefka, but he can just stay on the top lane and use his side camp. Where Baby Knight will take over these 2 camps right here, farm them up as well as the mid lane, and potentially also spend some time over in the Ancients.
They're not giving the bout. Oh, it's a Spectre dueling. And
wait, they're gonna run Spectre in the mid dual lane with?
Yeah, because I noticed no one wasn't even going for the rune. He straight went up top to get the creep block, and they lost the bounty rune versus Faceless Void, so that's going to be problematic. Spectre Enchantress against Brood. I'm not sure how this is going to work out. I mean, Solo has to go get creeps, and the Spectre is going to be left completely alone.
Is this one of these things where you could actually go for Combat Brood as well? You get like, you get Bite 2nd level up against Spectre.
I mean, potentially, but like, Spectre is so bad against Broodlings that he wants to get max Broodlings at level 7.
I want to watch this. I kind of want to watch the other lanes as well. Like Step Style walking underneath Hawks. Like he's looking to see what Mag is up to with that side camp. What do you do, Baby Knight? Okay, so he's starting up with the spiders. Spectre's still getting some really good CS here in mid. Like FN's right in the money for the last hits. Until that one.
Here comes Step Style. Oh, the courier? Possibly? No.
Alright.
Oh man, if Step Style was actually out of vision, he could have possibly went for the courier after it was on his way. It's 2 hits.
It might have made a difference if Spectre actually, Baby Knight actually succeeded in creating spiderlings. I don't know if you saw that, but he threw out the spawn spiderlings. I don't think it went into FN, I think it went into one of the creeps, but it died before the spawn spiderlings reached it. So he actually missed out on creating spiders. But Steph definitely wants to go. The Dire Sentry gets placed. Oh, whoops, Baby Knight. Right for round 2. Can't tango again though. Then again, neither can FN. And the spiders now go to work. You get a little bit of help coming in from the Enchantress. She's going to give a Wild Wing to do its thing. And Baby Knight finds it and...
Step Style is not level 2 to stun it, and he might just whack it, yeah.
It's enough to dissuade the Enchantress from having the tornado down. And now FN wins out, because he put the Quelling Blade, so he took care of the Sentry Ward. So at least they got vision superiority on this mid lane now for FN. He knows what he's getting into.
I still am skeptical about the Spectre being able to deal with this Broodmother now.
And Walk, he was trying to wait as long as he possibly could. He realized he's going to get glimpsed back now. Seema triggers the Mango. That's not where First Blood is though. Broodmother will claim it in mid. Because Kefka's managed to survive that long. He's got Time Walk up in 5 seconds. Another Fairy Fire is going to be consumed, but he'll still go down. But the Spectre dies in mid lane to the Broodmother, and I assume with a lot of help coming in from Steph. Were you watching the mid or the top?
I was watching mid, and then I looked at top. I missed the First Blood too, but just as I was saying, this lane is gonna soon get terrible for Spectre. He gets First Blooded.
I'm kind of surprised that it ended up happening. Like when you get a Sentry Ward down, you should know like how many spiders are coming your way. But with the ball forward, I suppose that puts a big spanner in the work. FN, it's a lot of spiders right behind you.
Yeah.
And this is as well. Baby Knight's gonna go deeper. This is the other thing which he can do, which Spectre can't really stop, is if he gets webs back behind the tower, he can just start creep skipping.
Not to mention that FN is only able to somewhat lane against Broodmother because he has Poor Man's Shield on top of Dispersion, but Baby Knight with, like, he's gonna start getting runes, he's gonna go for the Arcane Rune top, and he can directly nuke the Spectre, and he's not gonna have the sustain to deal with level 3 or 4 spawn Spiderlings.
There's a reason why Brood is banned out in the first 2 against Lund Conspiracy, a hell of a lot. Almost as much as like when DB played that Alchemist is banned out in the first 2. So here these teams just seem really, really comfortable with, and Vega, like, you're 5 minutes in, this Broodmother's about to hit level 6. You rotate heroes in to stop it, and Seema's actually going to go down! That even looked like Baby Knight was trying. With frickin' Ronaldo sitting on the back lines. They get another one.
Yeah, it's like, after a moment like that, people are gonna start getting discouraged about trying to do anything against the Broodmother. I mean, there's like these 20 Spiderlings are basically stronger than the hero, so...
We have to watch that build from Baby Knight. He's getting so much CS. He's got both the kills of London Conspiracy so far. He got the first turret. He's actually gonna build a Ring of Aquila, but they get another kick over on FN. Send all the Spiderlings in. He's only got 1 point up in dispersion. The poor man shield won't protect him enough. Spawn Spiderlings up at level 3. FN consumes a Fairy Fire, but they just have so much to stay underneath that tier 1 tower. The Baby Knight will now find his 3rd kill of the game. And even Jalopy on the bottom lane, so when Broodmother's forcing all these supports to rotate over and do work, what do? You start creep skipping the bottom lane and put Mag under pressure. Fortunately, he's in a little bit too deep here. Like if he potentially can spin Mango Pop and then Omni slash Mag down. But instead he's just gonna back out. No risk.
This game kind of reminds me of the earlier series between Na'Vi and Polarity, where Na'Vi put so much focus on the mid lanes, and at that cost, the other lanes didn't work out too well. In this game, it's not even like Spectre is having a good game; he's having a horrible game. Probably wondering why am I against this Broodmother for what?
It's hilarious watching Solo trying to contest Baby Knight for a rune. He just took both. He took the double damage from the top lane. He takes bounty from the mid. Man, that Spectral Dagger is loud. When there's that many Spiderlings in one position. Hello, ears.
Oh, I never noticed that it plays a louder sound when you hit multiple targets.
I didn't notice that either, but that just got really loud in my ears. Like it happens with Splinter Blast. Like Splinter Blast is one of the big ones. Like when you got a huge army, it makes so much sound. Because it makes an individual sound for every unit that it splinters off to. But yeah, I never realized it for Spectral Dagger.
Well, at least no one's gonna get his Midas on time, 7 minutes. It's not something we see too often, safe lane and Invoker.
It is an upside. But what's the trade-off? It's the Faceless Boy getting 6.5 levels in 7 minutes.
Definitely.
But you don't really have the synergy, like Juggernaut, like you're running a 3 melee hero core lineup with Faceless Void as one of those cores. So Chronosphere is not really as scary as it could be. Bottom lane now, they're going to have a crack over at the Juggernaut. With Nova and Frostbite, this is not really possible. Just because they can't close the distance fast enough. Solo's trying to wait for the denial. Actually fails it.
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Middle tower has fallen.
The Mag just doesn't know, like, what do you even do here? Like, you want to roar onto a Juggernaut?
Without follow-up, yeah, that's definitely not the
FN.
play.
Boulder's coming forward. He'll Spectral Dagger. Baby Knight's not gonna follow too far, and Steph Styles out a little bit too far. He goes for the kick over a Mag. That's finally to be sent back in, but that's just a little bit too overconfident there from LC, but they force rotations again. For the death of an Earth Spirit.
Yeah, at least they secured the tier 1, so they're not feeling too bad about that, and that's gonna make it so much harder to deal with Baby Knight. I almost feel like this Disruptor and Enchantress are trying to look for lanes where they can help out, but every time they get there, they're like, oh, nope. Like earlier, Seema rotated to mid, and he took a bunch of hits from the Spiderlings, and then he got nuked once by Baby Knight, and then he died. And then he went bottom, and he's like, it's Juggernaut backed by a Crystal Maiden, and I don't have Static Storm. What do I do?
Yeah, you don't really do much. It was funny then when he went to the mid lane, thinking you might be able to get a little bit of CS, but it's a one level up in Thunderstrike. You see Baby Knight's also, his Spiderlings twitched for a moment, thinking, oh, I've got to split them up so I don't take as much damage. And then he realized that's only level 1 damage. He still split them up eventually, but they got no clearance.
Yeah, the scary thing about Broodmother mid, I think, is usually when your tower is pushed, your supports are able to leech EXP, but against a Broodmother, no, and over the top, no one.
Yeah, they're going to boulder over Solon. They're waiting for the right time. In comes, well, Spectre. Does he actually reality into this one? He actually walks into the Chronosphere. Kefka should be able to finish the job. Solon sitting on the edge. You got Nova and Frostbite in 1 second time. Buys some space. Still not enough mana, so he makes FN work for it. It's a 2-for-1 trade-off with a glimpse back. It may be more. Nope, Kefka. Now the time walk himself out. As, he's hoping to escape further, but Solo just can't reach him. Meanwhile, tier 2 tower's dying in the mid lane to Baby Knight. And he is sitting on 1900 gold on this Broodmother. This could be the Radiance game.
Could be. We'll have to see more though. If he saves up until like 2.5k, then yeah, he's probably going Radiance.
Looks like Jalopi's looking for an exit frag. And he's going to find one. FN, got to stay away from the creep wave though, and FN, he's just going to Spectral Dagger out. Be nice. Can you actually stall? No. He was moving towards the tier 4 towers. Yes, he had a huge army of Spiderlings. Seema's going to die in the top river. Solon lets it go. The illusions won't finish the job even with the extra help from No One's Sunstrike. Now that's some good money. Almost every single Spiderling a Baby Knight going down to the Invoker. I think he basically like quadded his CS at that point.
It's almost like whoever has to deal with this Broodmother, it's a chore. No one wants this responsibility to deal with this Broodmother because these heroes aren't exactly the best against Broodmother. And that's just gonna mean, I mean, Broodmother mid is a rare sight, so it's hard to know what the implications of it are, but just looking at it, I feel like it ties down the heroes from Vega better than an offlane Brood would. Because this mid lane, you can't just, you want to go top, you want to go bottom, then you have to at some point cross the mid lane. It's just in the center of the map, so.
And how do you really like on the bottom and the top lane, you at least got some trees to play around with. You can come in from different angles. On the mid lane, it's just so tight.
Oh, look at Baby Knight just TP's out just as Vega are arriving with their smoke squad.
He must have realized. With the rest of LC taking out the top tower with really no contest apart from now No One who's up there. And they were moving into the jungle to farm it as well. Like they had to know something was awry. And with the spawn Spiderlings, like they're attacking the tier 2 tower. Like they can't even, like Vega can't even just attack into the tier 1 tower bottom lane and get a trade off that way. And if Vega lose this tier 2 tower on top, they basically lost control of both jungles.
Yeah, it's, this Disruptor really needs to get level 6.
Coming. Sells PMS, buy a Sacred Relic. This is a 12.5-minute Sacred Relic on a Broodmother.
It's like some alchemist timing right there.
Well, what is even his gold per minute? It's sitting at 578 gold per minute.
At 12 minutes, that's pretty insane. And it looks like it is going to happen. LC are going to pressure this tier 2 because they realize Vega are unable to really do anything on their own time.
Well, what are they going to do? Come out and fight? Like, the most exposed hero is Solo, who's gone. Yeah, he's got AWOL. Like, this isn't even bait. He's got a small army here with a couple of ballers.
I mean, look at No One. He's too afraid to go near the tower even.
I think he's dead.
He has Ghost Ball.
Okay, he's also got the spirits. So I was thinking, like, you could just go in for the Omni Slash now. Spectre gonna haunt Sol. He's very, very far forward. The kick is gonna force No One back for a little bit, but Sol needs a little bit of space. With the Silence Nerf bent, now the attack from the Invoker Forge Spirit will reach him. The Crystal Maiden will die. But this is that 4-1 strategy which LC really, like when they first came into the scene, this is the type of play they would go for. It's early lane dominance into now them grouping up as 4. And Baby Knight, this could be big. He stays out of the wall, he turns to fight. That insatiable hunger with all the Spinelings are trying to kill off Seema. They do find the kill, and in fact with the Static Storm, Seema gets all of the Spiderlings down. Nice kill.
That was a much needed breathing room for Vega. But is it enough? That's the question.
You at least slow down the Radiance timing. Like if that was already up, you might have a couple more problems, but
yeah.
It's the 2 sentry walls they planted. This first one, which stopped Baby Knight from running up to the top lane and forcing the issue hard on the tower, and this second one, which just now just ensured the kill over on the Brood, thanks to the combination with the Hawk.
Yeah, the scary thing is that that kill wasn't even reliable. It's sort of a luck base that they were able to kill Baby Knight. If Baby Knight was more respectful, then he could have just backed out and nothing further would have been gotten after that Crystal Maiden kill at top.
Only for Vega to ping this.
Yeah, I feel like Vega's only saving grace for the near future is Spectre's Radiance timing. It's going to be able to deal with Broodmother significantly well. But but he went for the drum, so that's gonna be quite delayed because he had almost 2k gold prior to that purchase.
Roshan started. I think Baby Knight needs to bring a little bit of help, but then again, Baby Knight in these situations prefers to stay on the lane. In case things go wrong, he always gets a trade-off.
Radiant's top tower is under
That
attack.
and he's gonna be good scouting information. Right now, from LC's point of view,
They
they
all
don't
looped
really
around.
see anyone. Yeah, they don't see anyone.
They're assuming that
They-
someone's going to be inside of Roshan, that he's being done, so they're smoking in, they're sending the Force Spirits over. Baby Knight again, hit by that meteorite. Loses half of his Spiderlings.
Come Seema.
Oh, and he'll bring Baby Knight back. Baby Knight, though, didn't get the insatiable hunger off, and Seema, oh, that's a big chronosphere. Kefka, right on the mark. Stepstar will turn the Magnetize as well. Baby Knight's going to be roared up. Sunstrike, they really want that Broodmother dead. They're going to get it. And will they get a little bit more? Yeah, they will. No, they won't. Faceless Void, time walks out. He's back behind his own tier 1 tower. They're still magnetized while they're doing this, but he doesn't have mana face to go for another jump. He got Jalopi's here.
He does have
managed to
Omni
actually
Slash.
grab a regeneration rune. They need to take out the creep wave more. You might feel more confident if that Battle Fury was already done.
Tower is under attack.
Yeah, it was a good chrono, but not quite enough. I suppose that's like one of the downsides to Broodmother is compared to how much net worth you have, it's just an actual team fight. He doesn't really do much. Still quite vulnerable to True Sight. And holy crap, Spectre. He just like a minute ago, I recall he only had like 400 gold. Now he has almost 2k. He might actually be able to pick up a relic before the 20-minute mark. Might be pushing it, but around the standard Radiance timing on Spectre, even though he had to lane mid against a Broodmother.
Not bad timing for him, things considered. Especially considering he didn't get any of the kills in the last fight. But yeah, oh, he got a Crystal Maiden, but we're not really going to count that as a big kill. The Invoker got the bigger one over on the Broodmother. And no one's actually now on the top of the net worth board. That your Scepter available is going to go directly into Aghanim Scepter after it. And LC, if you're sitting in this position, what do you want to do? Like, your Broodmother is obviously hitting a sweet spot. You need to finish up his Radiance. At that point, do you try and go hunting for kills? This seems to not really have worked that well, and because you're not going like an Orchid build on a Broodmother, or the SMY combat build, like she's more of a lane presence thing, so then is split push the better option?
I think for the time, the Radiance got delayed so much that what they wanted to do is to basically Broodmother cut creeps and make it so that Vega have to make smokes that are not ideal, like when the waves are pushed into their base, and meanwhile LC can try to go for a Roche attempt, which isn't going to be exactly too easy with the items they have. Or objectives or pickoffs are of their own might be a possibility, but then they definitely need a chrono for that, and so far they don't have the best follow-up to chrono. The Crystal Maiden being so poor and Juggernaut not having any real items.
Well, he just finished up his Battle Fury, so those real items will come a little bit quicker now.
I mean, this is basically, it's karma because...
Chronosphere, bottom lane, Kefka, trying to go a solo kill over on Seema. He's running up and around, and the kick from Stepstar well off target. And one more attack from Kefka, and he's got... There we go. He's got the kill.
Suffer the ravages of time.
Yeah, it's... LC's lineup, they had their fun, but past the laning phase, this is what you pay for. You have a Broodmother mid. It's not exactly the best teamfight hero.
So they need more out of their other cores. Baby needs to keep that pressure up. Like, even if he just moves to top lane right now and starts to take over the dire jungle, that in itself, like economically wise, like LC should be able to get back to where they were. They lost a 6,000 net worth advantage over the course of the last 10 minutes. They're behind by at one point 7.5k experience to Vega. But Vega still have no control of the map. That's their primary issue. Like, all tier 1 towers are still up for LC.
Spectre going for a Yasha, so maybe a Manta first to get out of the silence and frostbite.
Well, if he gets enter, it feels like Crystal Maiden dies at the start of every single fight. That's the upside. Jalopy got Ward in the middle of Spim. The Sunstrike's going to hit, but now he goes off for the Omni Slash. Bounce into the Mud Golems. The Crystal Maiden obviously already down. And with a glimpse back, Jalopy back into the Storm of Seema. They'll pick off 3 and Baby Knight as well. Really stranded. He was cold snapped up, so he couldn't just walk himself away. They have the issue of the mid-tier 3 tower being attacked by Spiderlings and other creeps.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
That's the only real issue.
Now they're gonna go Roche. This is basically a pretty secure Roche, I feel. They're gonna kill it before Juggernaut or Broodmother are gonna respawn, so huge win for the Vega. They basically get a team wipe on top of a tier 1 on top of a Roche. And all the while, Broodmother hasn't been able to pressure high ground at all, like just get chip damage.
As Eureka the Immortal into the hands of Spectre. As we'll have ourselves a pause, Enchantress going to DC out. And LC now. Okay, so let's talk about win conditions. LC have taken out almost every outer tower. Are they capable of forcing the issue against Vega and pushing high ground? Or do they have to play the the side lane game?
Side lane game for sure. These heroes are not gonna be able to push high ground against Vega. Vega actually have pretty insane defense against LC. Like, there's nothing that can stop Enchantress from chucking spears when they reach high ground, unless they commit a chrono, which is not gonna be easy. It's bad enough that they have 3 melee cores, but chronoing past tier 3s between like the tier 3s and tier 4s is not gonna make the fight any easier, and then they don't have enough damage basically. You just have a Radiance on Brood, Battle Fury on the Juggernaut. You need to get to a point where Juggernaut is so strong that a good chrono is gonna ensure Juggernaut gets like a double or triple kill potentially, and the Broodmother is able to actually do something because the items he has now, he's pretty high up in the net worth chart, but just net worth is just numbers, right? It doesn't really, it's not an accurate depiction of what he's capable of in actual fights, and at this point he's not really capable of doing anything. He can't get near biggest Squadron's lineup, one dust, and he has to run for his life.
If he had something like an Orchid, at least maybe he could stop the Disruptor from throwing down these big ultimates and all the controlling factors which LC are trying to play around. Or even stop the Beastmaster from roaring. Even that itself would be useful, but again, like, on a flag mag sitting at 5 kills, 0 deaths, 3 assists. Beastmaster having a good game.
Yeah, definitely. I think Vega have been pretty patient in this game. A lot of teams, they might have been way too distracted by like the Broodmother, but they accepted that, you know, LC, they picked the Broodmother mid, and the laning phase was pretty rough for them, but I mean, after that, we talked about the win conditions for LC, and if Vega are smart enough to realize the position that LC are in, that they're gonna realize like they're under no threat, immediate threat that of getting high grounded, and LC don't really have much to do after these outer towers are gone. They still need a lot more core items on the Brood. The Brood had a lot of fun, thanks to, you know, just the nature of Broodmother being level reliant early on, but now he needs real items. The Juggernaut, so there's Juggernaut, and they don't have the scariest chrono combos, so.
Yeah, they need more damage to come out from the Juggernaut. Chronosphere, having more of them, I don't even know if that's going to assist you at all. And these supports, like Earth Spirit, like, you're not looking at any real items apart from like an urn over on Earth Spirit. Like, there's nothing really coming out. Like, I'm not feeling the CM's control in the fights like I thought I was going to. The Earth Spirit as well. Magnetize seems to be really ineffective. I guess it's caused some problems for Vega, but they've just survived through it.
It's hard to get good magnetizers off in this game. Like, all of Vega's Squadron are pretty... They can kill Earth Spirit pretty effectively. And one of the things that I think Baby Knight needs to address as a mid player in this game is to get to a point where he can actually lock down a target. He needs to choose someone to go on in the fights, and right now without a BKB, he's not going to be able to hit the Enchantress or like the Invoker, Beastmaster. These heroes can turn around and kill the Broodmother. So he's going to work towards a BKB, or I mean, it might be a Sanjin Yasha. But considering how the game's been going, I'm gonna lean towards BKB. His team's probably like, okay, Baby Knight, you had your fun. Can you please do something in team fights? We're struggling here.
Yeah. Considering he was completely controlled up by Cold Feet and Disruptor in the last couple of engagements, yeah, BKB seems to flag the highest. They have one advantage with the fact like Seema is the lowest net worth on the field. So dealing with something like an Aghanim Scepter Disruptor is a very, very long way off. They just have to start worrying now about the damage coming out of Solo. Like, Solo's about to hit that sweet spot for the Enchantress. Aghanims plus Dragonlance onto an Enchantress who's level 12. That's a lot of damage to fly. Now they need to find something here in the mid. So the Smilings come in, they made a lot of them. Chronosphere still available here from Kefka. He leaps forward, and is he going to throw it out? With the help of Solon, they could find this kill. He lets it go, the Chronosphere. I don't know if, yeah, he's not in range anymore with that ultimate. They throw the spawn Smilings, but it's just not enough damage. So now it's up to LC to get the hell out of here. With the Sentry Ward down, Baby Knight was visible. Definitely wants to push Baby Knight up on the hillside. He wants to make a spider web, but he just can't do it. With the Spectral Haunt, they go in, and because they were so quick to get that kill, they can focus on Sol, and they kick it a little bit further away. The Glimpse, stopping the TP out from the Crystal Maiden. So FN's able to grab himself 2 kills in this game. Steph's still unsuccessful TP Boulder away. But Vega are looking now at more damage.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Yeah, this is starting to spell a lot of trouble. That was pretty optimistic from LC though, to try to go for the Spectre, who had an Aegis on top of a Manta style.
So it really showed you the lack of synergy though. Like, I think that was probably the biggest thing of that. Like, when Void doesn't think he can instantly just chrono and pump out damage, because like, what's the Brood gonna do?
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
And Spectre is actually one of the scariest heroes to gank when he has Aegis, because you're thinking most heroes you can, okay, let's get rid of the Aegis and we're not gonna get greedy and go for the second life. So you get Aegis and then you run, but then she's gonna haunt and find you and give vision to heroes like the Disruptor. All he needs is vision.
Salopi just walked underneath the Sentry Ward.
Oh,
Beastmaster knows he's there with the Sunstrike and the Necrobooks. There's no way he could have known. There's no way he could have known.
I mean, at the same time though, it was a pretty low chance that Jalopy would have done a solo kill on Beastmaster. If Mag was like watching his screen, as soon as the Omni Slash pops, he just summons the Necrobooks and Hawk, negates a lot of the damage from Omni Slash, roars him, and Sunstrike comes in, dies the same way pretty much.
Now we'll see try and make their run up. Quick pings that came out from the Enchantress saying, I think, was to try and get rid of the ward, not to flag LC's maneuver to the top lane. They're fine now. Vega are actually like against the Broodmother. They're winning the split push game. With the BTs on no one, he can just attack into the tier 2 tower. He's got support behind him as well. Spectral Haunt will always bring FN to the front lines.
Yeah, the thing about
like 1200 gold from Radiance.
Yeah, the thing about this Radiance build on Broodmother is that ideally with the Radiance, you want to speed up your farm. It's like a flash farm item. You want to be able to go to the jungle, use Radiance to draw creep aggro and be efficient with clearing camps, but the Baby Knight is not feeling too confident farming on the dire side of the map, so he's been hitting Ancients, and if you're going to hit Ancients, you might as well skip Radiance. Oh man, he broke the smoke.
Pick up the tornado. They're going to drop him, and Kev just stuck on the hillside. There's nothing that can save him. He's locked there for eternity. LC now. Data faces for 50 seconds means that top tier 2 tower is toast. And what are you gonna even do? Like, you want to push up mid as a counter push? It's like the only play you could potentially snipe off this Radiance.
Radiant's top tower.
Yeah, Jalopy went for a Blink Dagger. Oh, it's nice.
He actually got it, but he didn't get, like, FN was 50 gold away from having his relic. so he didn't snipe off the full Radiance, but he gets rid of the recipe as well as, actually the Earth Spirit, yeah, never mind.
You know, one thing we haven't talked about for LC is their high ground defense. It's actually pretty bad if you think about it. Just,
yeah.
I mean, all their spells are really committed. You can't use
is he down? Yeah, he's gone.
Oh.
Solo just basically 4 hits with the impetus, and now Solo's also, he's just walking the front lines across the map, no way to survive. The Magnetize turns on, but again, minimal damage. Baby Knight's dying in the middle of Vega, and they just call it. Doesn't even take 28 minutes, and Vega will push us into a third game. London Conspiracy, the mid brood, it looked great at the start, they were finding kills all over the board, but the transition into mid game,
Yeah, it was fun watching for the first 10 minutes on the LC side, but then after tier 2s, their lineup kind of came to a dead end. Not really sure what to do or how to make this lineup work past that point. It's just the limits. I think they're gonna have some discussions about what could have been a better alternative to the Broodmother. Because like